How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Forever Arsenal podcast. We're back before the big one and just after the draw at Everton, Goodison Park. Last trip to Goodison Park. A special one and a special moment there with the unification and the remembrance for Kevin Campbell. I know that was a big one for Lee as well. Especially being there, and I've heard great things from the Everton stewards and how they've helped out and along the way. And it looks specially to start with.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night. Very, very poignant moment, very emotional. Listen, I think it was tough. It was tough. I met Harry, Kevin's brother, before the game, and he was giving out an award. It was lovely to see him up there, and the family and that, And at 9 minutes, the whole crowd singing his name and clapping and all that was special. Special. I was so glad that I was there for that. But also, I felt bad. I felt very emotional about it because, Kevin should have been there for that, and all the celebrations of Goodison when it does finally close. He would have been a part of that, and he's a big part of Goodison and some special nights there and some fond memories. I've done some reenactments. I know it sounds silly, but when one time we met Kevin after the game, and it took us half hour to get down to the corner flag. I sort of done that walk yesterday. Yesterday, Saturday. And it was bright sunshine. It was a perfect day for it, really. Went outside the window after the game, and Everton fans coming up to me and shaking my hand, and it was very, very special. And two very, very special sets of supporters. Doing that, and I'm going to say it now, and I've said it before. He loved Arsenal, supported them as a kid, and everything like that. And I can see why he loved Everton as well. The fans, it's a proper football club. It really is. The old lady, as they call it, or Woodison Park. Someone christened it yesterday because it is a wood, isn't it, James? As you see yesterday, it is old. It needs doing up, but it's just one of those grand old grounds that. Sad to see go. I'm sad to see it go, and football is changing, and the likes of Goodison Park, Highbury, you can talk about all the other grounds as White Hart Lane, all those Upton Park, have all part of history now. And so sad to see Goodison Park go, but a tremendous tribute from everybody. So big ups to everybody that was involved in that yesterday. That would have meant a lot to Kevin. I know it would have done. And it meant a lot to everybody that knew him as well.
Yeah, it was special. Pick up James and Jordan in the building as always. Again, obviously we've got the game to talk about. What we take from it, we'll talk. Go on.
Sorry to cut you. Now, listen, me and James always have a bit of a dig at each other, and quite rightly so, But I just want to big up that man to my left. What a person to go out with on a night out. What an absolute blinding guy to go out with on a night. My God, the boy can drink. I'll tell you this now, he was not.
This is a good thing.
Left, right. Well, I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Left, right, centre. But I'll tell you what, it is a good thing because he drunk and he was still laughing and joking all the way from the beginning to the end. And I remember going to bed and I'm thinking, I can't wait to see him in the morning because his hair will be all over the place. He ain't getting up early and all that. Bright as a button he was the next day. Bright as a button.
Okay.
Big up to James. And if you ever have the pleasure of going out with a night out with him, you'll have fun. You'll have fun.
Thank you, Lee. I never thought that'd be the first thing you picked me up for.
No. Great night. Great night.
Man can party.
Brilliant.
I'll tell you what.
Brilliant company. Brilliant.
I'd been before, but Liverpool's a class city. I mean, basically, because it was an early kickoff, the 12:30. I just said, right, we'll make a Friday night of it. And we had a good time, and fair play to you, Lee, because I know you won the cup, so you're ready out till whatever time in the morning earlier. So yeah, 2 stints in a week. Fair play to you. I mean, this also all tells you how dull the game was between Everton and Arsenal that we're talking about partying in Liverpool. But it was a great night. It's a great city, man. I had a great time. I think we like hopped to like 6, 7 different bars.
Yeah,
It was great.
you did. And you were superb. Superb. Really good. Like, really pleasurable to go out with.
Yeah.
And listen, you're not a bad drunk. Like you just drink and you just laugh. You know what I mean? Just full of laugh. And it was a very, very good night. We got home about 4 o'clock in the morning. And we said the latest we're staying out till was 2. That was what we were saying. Like, that was the agreed time to get home.
That's a good night.
It was a good night.
That's late for me.
That was a good night. I've done it 2 nights out of 3. I've done it, like, you know what I mean. So I was tired towards the end, but
it was a great weekend, and then the game started.
And here we are.
Here we are. I just want to echo Lee's words. The tribute was very special, very, very special. On the 9th minute, I think that the Super Kev song sort of did the rounds around 6 minutes in, and then on the 9th minute, I think it was the number he wore, that the whole ground. I mean, yeah, football. You know, football fans get their fair share of criticism, but I say on my fan cam that it can bring kind of very special moments. That was one of them.
It's probably a fitting way that it ended a draw, because let's be honest, neither team really needs to win. And, you know, it's the Kevin Campbell derby. So for neither of his teams to lose on that day, in a time when, like I said, none of us really need 3 points, you know, it was Kevin's day. So he'd be looking down, happy that both his teams, you know, took a point.
On that note, let's just say we were sitting here and it was a 2-1 win and Liverpool had just lost and the gap is 9 points. I can safely say Jordan wouldn't, but Lee, James would. Do you have the feeling it was a chance missed because of that result, or are you like, me and Jordan, which it didn't really?
Listen, from my point of view, and I don't think it was, but there's signs that Liverpool could buckle under the pressure. I don't care what anybody says. They're not playing that well. I didn't see the game today. Weren't interested, but I knew they was 1-0 up, and you sort of think, oh well, that's it then. And then the next minute, someone said they're 3-1 down. So there's vulnerabilities in Liverpool. There's no two ways about that. Like, but you know, the people that are coming up to us and going second again, Liverpool fans, and like, second again, they were second as many times as us. Like, they seem to forget that. Like, I'd love them to explode. I really would. Like, you know what I mean, their fans are so cocky, but in a good way. It was all banner. But yeah, I don't see it. You know, but listen, we're going to talk about the penalty and all that. Like, and I'm going to go off on a rant about it because I actually walked away from that game yesterday thinking, I don't know if I want to go football no more. Football's being spoiled, boys. It really is. The officiating was so bad from both. So talking to an Everton fan after the game, he was complaining about it just as much as us. You know, it's just poor decisions. And I've looked back at that penalty. How is that a penalty? Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, and do you know what? They turned around and said, which really does annoy me, guys, is that they turn around and go, oh, it's not clear and obvious. We can't really, so like VAR can't chalk it off or turn it around. Well, they've done exactly the same thing last week at Forest Brighton. Done exactly the same thing, and they did overturn it. You know, so 1 week they do, 1 week they don't. And do you know what? I don't know how you guys feel. If it would have been given a penalty and there's no VAR, I would accept it more. But after watching it 10, 15 times, I think to myself, how can you give that as a penalty? So if he does it in the first thing, you think, oh, well, I get why he's giving it. I can live with that. But to see what I see and they see that and then not give to give it as a penalty. And don't get me wrong, both teams were poor. Both teams didn't deserve to win. But you can't have decisions like that keep happening, boys. And you know, it's not only spending a lot of money going up there. You know, it's the time travelling back there and forth. You know what I mean? Like, James, your train fare home's quite expensive. People are doing that, and then getting decisions like that go from not the first. I think it's something's got to have. Something's got to give. You know, I'm watching Championship games now, obviously following Tyrese for Sheffield United. I'm enjoying that football more. It's a bloody game of football how I used to enjoy it. You know, you can't tackle no more. How many times were there? And I'm going to bring up Jorginho on this. Did he get touched yesterday and just go down free kick? Just touch free kick. And Everton were doing it as well, free kick. And I'm looking at it, get on with the game. The referee then, you know, they're taking it 5 yards away from where it was, stopping it, and no, bring it back and all that. Like, it was just an awful, awful game to watch. And I'm sorry, that was a lot of down to the officiating on the day.
Manchester Derby topped it.
I didn't watch that. Was it any good?
Oh man, listen,
Disgrace. It was a disgrace. But I mean,
yeah.
Where was a good game of football? How many people did you watch this year?
Yeah, we literally just said that before the stream started. The big 6 games in general this year have been very
Chelsea, Tottenham, Turkish. You ain't getting that 90 minutes back.
that was it. Yeah,
We've been involved in a fair few.
100%. Look, we're not out of it. Like, you know, I looked at that game yesterday, guys, and I'm sorry to go on, but I've got to say it, right? You pay a lot of money to go, you pay your money and everything like that. 2 things that really bugged me, right, yesterday, is that I watched 22 players out there of Premier League footballers. I didn't see one bit of quality where I went, wow, got off my seat and thought, well, that was good. From controlling the ball, a shot or a turn or anything like that. From the whole, you know, so 22 Premier League players, right, I didn't see no quality. And the second thing is when that penalty's going on, like, yeah, right, I'm getting text messages saying, not a penalty, definitely not a penalty. Are they going to overturn this? No, they're not. No, they're not. It's a goal. They've give it. I said, well, it can't be. How do you know that? I'm live here and I'm standing here watching them, like, you know. And the people are watching it on telly knowing it before us. And then it's a goal. You know, it was a penalty.
yeah.
I find that incredibly insulting, really. I really do, like, you know what I mean? You've got my mate sitting indoors telling me, like, yeah, this is happening, this is happening. You know, that should not be right. Shouldn't be right. And you know, as I say, the quality of the game was, well, the best thing about that, do you know the only thing that was Premier League standard yesterday was the pitch? Everything else was not Premier League standard.
I think that's a general football problem as well. Really, we could separate and talk about that for a whole hour in itself. The quality in football, and wow moments and off your seat moments and whatnot across the board. Who actually said it recently? Was it R9 or Ronaldinho or one of the? I think one of them two said it recently. And to be honest, there's none better for it to come from than 2 of the greatest artists of the game. But listen, the game is the game. On the penalty stuff, I'm not gonna lie. It's the more you watch it, the harsher it feels. But at the same time, because I know these refs and because I've seen softer things given, I think there was a bit in it from both ways. I do think Lewis Skelly played his part in it, but I also think Harrison played his part in it. It was harsh. You know, VAR review should have come in and the ref should have had an opportunity to see it again because he was adamant. And like me, the first time I'm seeing it, it does look like Lewis Skelly's completely fallen into him. That kind of happened outside the box, so at most I'd say free kick. But yeah, in general, I get what you're saying because I'm going off the standard that the rules are at now, the game in terms of the rules and the refereeing as well, because really, you know, it's a contact sport. So, you know, there needs to be some leeway there. But when you're getting so analytical with it all, yeah, it's the leniency kind of goes because they're trying to be very definitive in every move, every touch, every moment in the moment, which is mad in itself. But I don't want to. For me, I expected the performance, and I said this in my fan cam. I expected the performance. The result, I didn't care too much. Now people will say, "Oh, but if we expanded, if we changed it up, and we didn't win the game, you'd be furious." Not necessarily. For me, it's always been about Real. I've been saying this for weeks, so I don't think the penalty incident or the officiating in that moment, defined the performance. It defined the result. Cool, because in the end we didn't get back into it and get back and win it. And they probably had the chance to go 2 up straight after with Beto and Ryan made the save. But in general, the performance again was it was mad because against Fulham, first half dead, second half picked it up. this one, first half, I think we was quite good. I think we started
Yeah,
the
I
game
thought
quite
so
well.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
You know, and I think then you see the half-time substitutions being 1-0 up and deservedly being 1-0 up. I think you see the half-time subs, you're thinking in the mind is Saka, Martinelli come on. There's going to be space now. Everton do need to come out, you know, more than they would have had, you know, at the start of the game. They're 1-0 down now, second half. You know, give them space. You know, stretch your legs, run into space, cause threat. None of that happened. Now, I don't know whether it was because of the penalty, and people might then say, oh, I did define the performance because then the penalty allowed Everton to regroup and reshape and reimagine the performance of their own. But nah, I just think, all in all, in terms of a rehearsal or a trial or whatever you call it before the big one, it's just another game gone where I'm thinking, all right, well nothing's changed in terms of there's nothing else for me to if plan A don't work, then yeah, we ain't got nothing else in the tank right now.
Yeah, I got some thoughts, but I'll let Jordan go first.
Just as well because I don't have many.
Jordan's acting surprised. We're on a pod, mate. You know, yeah.
No, so you know what it is. I'm looking at the penalty and I'm looking at the highlights. Going over again. Although I did watch it live.
He sat there going, "Oh, good goal."
Did you need a couple of minutes? Or?
One. Okay. First of all, the game was poor. I thought for the first 30 minutes, I thought Arsenal were decent. I thought our front three were lively. I thought we had Everton pretty much contained. I didn't think we were under massive pressure. I was impressed with the first third, if you like, of the match. We brought on Saka and the flirter at half time and got worse. I don't know how that works out, but we got worse in the second half. But yeah, it wasn't a particularly good game. It doesn't give me much enthusiasm going into the Madrid game. But on the penalty itself, I actually can't make up my mind on where I stand on it. I was watching it back, just kind of refresh my memory on it. And ultimately, the question that needs to be answered is, does the actions of Lewis Skelly prevent the attacker, Harrison, from attacking and getting through on goal? That's the ultimate question that needs to be asked. If the answer is yes, it's a pen. If his actions haven't stopped Harrison, then the answer is no.
Free kick, it happened outside the box. If that's because I'm with you, I get you, but it happened outside. But you're right.
Yeah, a foul. If penalty or free kick, but a foul either way. I'm not convinced, and I think I tend to lean on the side of if I'm not sure, I err on the side of don't give it, and that I'm consistent. That applies with if it's against my team, for my team. If I'm not quite sure, and it's very, very rare, I can't give an opinion either way. Very rare, right? But on the times where I can't give an opinion either way, I err on the side of don't give it. Don't give it. And that's kind of where I am on the penalty. It feels a little bit harsh to me. It feels a little bit harsh.
What's annoying, though? Sorry to cut you, Jordan. What's annoying is then seeing their reasoning for the Van Dijk one, which is a coming together of bodies. Which that sentence could also be used for the Lewis Skelly one. Where ball's coming over the top, he's going. So it's the inconsistency of the whole thing. It's making us more. It's making us talk like this because really and truly, cut and dry, it should be. Come on, man, get up, Harrison, man, continue. Because that's what football was. But now, because of all of these rule changes, PGM, the standard of it, the way they implement the rules, the inconsistency, we're all here giving our differing opinions based off of what it could be. Because, you know, that's all we can do. But sorry, Jordan.
No, just to kind of my last point on the penalty. If anything, they're probably fouling each other. So in that case, play on. Just play on. Do you know what I mean? If they're fouling each other, just get on with it, crack on, sort of thing. So the penalty thing did feel a little bit harsh to me. And you know, the fan base cry about anything that goes against us way too much for my liking. This was one where I was a bit like, that does feel a little bit harsh on Arsenal, if I'm being honest. Just my final thought on the overall game and performance, still too slow, still moving the ball way too slow. This is the theme all season. We're just moving the ball too slow, in my opinion. That's an Arteta thing. That's not an individual player thing. That's how he's coaching us, and those are tactics. It's not the team playing slow. That for me, this is not 2 or 3 games. This is all season. I've been saying we're moving the ball way too slow, and it's different if you're doing it because you're trying to counter Teams that want to counter, like I get why you don't want to commit too much forward and have too much dynamism going forward. You're waiting for, but we don't play counter football. So why are we moving the ball? It's really weird. So disappointing performance from 30 minutes on for me. The flirter when he came on was crap. Saka did nothing, but he's coming back from an injury, so I'll give him a little pass. Trossard was probably the best player, and I don't think he was particularly amazing. So a disappointing draw, but hey ho.
Oh no, I thought
Did you see
Martinelli
James
was a
and
real
Lee when you
positive.
said Martinelli was crap? Both of them went.
I thought
He had
Martinelli
one
was-
good run. He had one really good run late in the second half where he beat a couple of players. I
He's had
think
a
he got a
shot.
shot or a cross off. Yeah, that was really good.
He done
Apart
some
from
good
that,
stuff in the first.
I thought he was a real positive. I
Yeah,
thought
he-
he
I
was
thought he was
really
really
good.
good.
I'm up for
Combined
hearing
well
it.
with Tierney. I mean, no, look, I'm not going to die on the hill of Martinelli was great. I mean, I don't know. I was thinking this is he's picked up form ahead of Madrid.
Yeah, I thought.
Sorry, before you pick up, I will finish just because people were saying I won't give him credit for playing well in the previous game. In the previous game, I thought he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. That's the performance I've been waiting for all season. He was taking on his man. He was getting shots off. He was getting some good crosses in. He was getting back. He was a real problem. Is it Fulham? Is it
Yeah.
Fulham?
Yeah.
Fulham. He was really good. This half, yeah.
I thought we'd done well.
The first was
He was right down our side, James, wasn't he? Like, you know what I mean? So we see a lot of it. I thought
Which does skew it sometimes, Lee, because sometimes when you watch players like in person in front of you, what they do, like it looks more impressive. I don't know what it is. Something about watching it live, sometimes like, right in front of you. So maybe that kind of skewed it a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe, to be honest, I think I was still a bit drunk. Like, I'll be honest, that first half, I
thought we'd done well. I know what I tell you what I did like about it. I thought it was a good contest between him and the fullback. Really didn't go in and commit himself. What he'd done every single time was he said, right, I'm going to go close enough where I stop you doing what you want to do, but I'm not going to let you. If you're going to beat me now, you're going to have to beat me. And I thought and Martinelli got as much joy out of him as he got out of him. I thought it was a good battle. I'm going to agree with Jordan on Trossard. I thought that was one of the best performances that I've seen him play. I thought he took his goal really, really well. Funny enough, I thought it was Sterling's best performance. Not saying that. I thought he done all right.
Had some shocking moments.
He did.
It was a better performance, but
I tell you what he done, which was really well. The goal. There was a time he could have, when you're not got a lot of confidence, I'll get rid of it. He didn't. He actually drove into the heart of the defence and let the pass go at the right time, and a very, very good finish. Other than that, Saka, that was the performance I was expecting Saka to do on Tuesday night. I know he was unbelievable on Tuesday for that sort. Absolutely done nothing in that game whatsoever. Now, I don't know if that was down to the fullback because Wanyeri done absolutely nothing as well. Like, so maybe you got to give credit to the defence of Everton. But I thought Merino was Ashley's most impressive game that I've seen him play. I thought he was okay. Declan Rice, poor. The big worry for me, boys, I'm going to say it now, was when Martin Odegaard come on. I can't believe how poor he was. I can't believe how poor he is. Look, he's very lucky at this moment to be saying, oh, you're being rested, because he could easily be dropped at this moment in time. The reason he's not dropped, the reason he's dropped is we ain't got no one else probably that can do that role. But I'm telling you this now, he is just off.
Passenger.
I'm not convinced that he's beyond getting dropped. Here, I think Arteta. I don't think yesterday was just rotating. I think he really wanted to see some things. I think he really wanted to see Trossard in the false nine. I think he really wanted to give. Wanyeri and Sterling probably were in for minutes for Martinelli and Saka to get a rest. But, Rice, Marino, Jorginho, midfield, I think he wanted to see some stuff. Ben White getting an hour, obviously Kivior starting. I listen, we're playing Real Madrid. At some point, we'll go to the Bernabeu. And Arteta's got to ask himself, what is the best chance of getting a result there? And more often than not, it's to really defend your heart out of the Bernabeu.
I agree.
Is Odegaard going to be on the pitch for that? I know he leads the press. I know he works hard. I reckon Arteta was having a little look.
I think it's the opposite, James. I think actually, if anything, I think he would drop him for the first leg and go ultra defensive. Yeah, because my I know we're kind of skipping ahead a little bit to the Real Madrid chat, but my big thing is, and I've said it on the pod before as well, just get to the second leg with a chance. Arsene Wenger, I keep battering him for this. His record in two-legged ties, I thought, was shocking. So many times he didn't navigate two-legged games good enough. Ties were over in the first leg. With this one, all I ask for from Mikel Arteta, just get to the second leg, still in the tie. Even if you're a goal down, it's not ideal, but it's not tie over. So I think he might. The way that I would approach it is, I would try and get out of the Emirates with a draw. Just get to that leg, and I think if you go with three midfielders that give you a good shield and a good foil, and just almost welcome them on and play counter football, that would be an excuse to take out Martin Odegaard, in my opinion. So I think the opposite. I think it's the first game he could get dropped for, and the second leg, when you're in the tie, we want to try and win it. That's the one where you might try and
Well, let's talk about that when we do the Madrid stuff.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I'm not sure I see it the same way, but I get you thinking.
What's left of Everton?
Okay, I will say slightly. I know it's not the opinion that's kind of doing the rounds. I actually think Arsenal were fine, guys. I thought the first half we played well. I thought we had a goal, could easily have had a second. I don't think you're going to go to Goodison and create chance after chance after chance. They're always going to be solid. They don't lose a lot of games under David Moyes. They've had a real pickup under David Moyes. We got the goal. It was well taken. Thought Trossard was a positive. You mentioned Marino as well. I thought he did quite well. They didn't get anywhere near our goal. I thought they were going to be really on us. I thought we were going to have to really backs against the wall for a little bit, but there wasn't kind of any real period other than maybe when we conceded the penalty. And then obviously they equalised. But guys, for me, the penalty is ridiculous. Not the worst decision we've ever seen. For me, it's just so unbelievably soft. I think football needs a reset in terms of, you're right. We always justify with all these different things because we've seen all this other stuff go on. Reality is no one wants to see that be a penalty in the game. And that let Everton back in. They weren't doing anything up to that point. And look, it was poor of us not to be able to shake that off and get back into it and create more chances. Creating chances is still a problem. But I think more often than not, that's a performance that, we rotated a lot. Had players on the pitch I wasn't expecting to see. Jorginho, Sterling. I wasn't expecting Marino in midfield. Rice playing a position he never really plays. Trossard up front. Kivior, at centre back, and I thought all things considered, we were fine. I'm not really that mad at Arsenal. I don't think you're going to go to Goodison and completely dominate.
I think for me, James, it's more about going into the Madrid game. What did we learn that helps us understand what we could do against Madrid? The result is not, as I'm with Turkish. It was a bit of a by the by, but I was looking for, like, okay, even if we lost the game. Oh, okay, I see what he's trying to do there, and I see that combination could be a thing against Madrid, and I didn't see anything that made me think.
I think I did. I think I did. I thought Kivior looked confident. Now I wouldn't start him. I wouldn't start him, but I thought he did well. And I don't think that was ever going to be a particularly easy battle. Although actually, you know what, Everton were poor going forward. I will say that. So that's part of it. But I thought Kivior did quite well. I wouldn't start him for Madrid though. But I thought it was good to see him at least getting a good game before then, because Arteta might well start him. I thought Trossard in the false nine and Marino in midfield. I was happy I saw that, because I think he could easily have played Marino up front and Trossard in midfield. He's done that before. I think he could easily have played Marino up front, Trossard on the left, Sterling on the right, and Wanera in midfield. So I think there's actually quite a few things he could have done with those players. But he clearly wanted to see Marino in that area of the pitch, and either that's just because he's good endurance and he wanted to give a rest to other players, or he wanted to actually see something. I thought it was quite encouraging. I think we're going to need Marino to play a part in these Madrid games, probably from midfield at times, especially if we've got actually something to see out, which would be great. And I thought Trossard. I thought Trossard did okay. I didn't see this amazing Trossard performance, if I'm honest, but he scored a goal that I don't really think anyone outside of maybe him and Saka can score. I don't think many people can have a defender kind of closing them down, and you don't know if he's going to go right foot or left foot, drag it on and just pick out the corner. I don't actually think anyone else our squad can do that. And so I guess Real Madrid, like, who do you want the half chances falling to? For me, it's Leandro Trossard. So I thought that was a positive. No one got injured. Yay. That we can count ourselves lucky whenever we get past the game with no injuries. Because, I mean, I didn't think the excuse was there in terms of the title race, because as was pointed out, we were 9 points behind Liverpool even before kind of Havertz and Saka and Jesus and all that. However, my word, I mean, the list of injuries have been a joke this season. So yeah, I didn't see it as a wholly negative day, though I am the one who celebrates draws. So maybe that's something. But
Yes.
that's me full time.
I hear what you're saying, James.
But
defensively, wasn't tested in that game whatsoever. They were, like they had a free header in the first half, I think it was, and a ricochet that could have gone in. But other than that, they never tested us. So we had an easy day, comfortable day there. But I see worrying signs. I didn't think Ben White was nowhere near at the level that he was last season.
No,
I didn't think he was good. I thought he was fine.
No, I just
we
think
worried about
he just lacks match fitness, and that's a worry for me. A couple of times he'd give the ball away when he just wasn't quite sharp enough. Listen, you know I'm a big Ben White fan, but I just feel that he's not quite up to the standard of the Real Madrid game. So there's a real worry who you put in there at central defence. I thought Timber come on and looked good. That was a good boost for me that he was on and good enough to come on and be risked, if you want to say risk. But so I that game there, I've walked away from the game there. I'm still not sure what the best way is to play defensively, whether it be Kivior or whether it's Ben White now. I don't know. That's a decision that he's going to have to make. And I do think that Trossard done enough to say, do you know what? If there is a chance, I'm the one that's going to take it. And I do believe that. I felt that, Odegaard and Marino had two very, very good chances, neither at the target. When he had the chance to score, he scored. So, and I felt it could have been, I thought he was fouled for the other one that he went through on. I don't know, nothing really was come of it, but it looked like a foul before he got hurt. But listen, I thought that was it from it, really. Again, I do take away from Mikel. I don't believe a word he ever says nowadays, you know what I mean? Over my dead body, he said, we ain't giving up on this title. Well, he did it 45 minutes. I felt that was a real telling moment to a player. I've got to choose his game on my mind by doing substitutions at half time. You don't really see that very, very often. But it was like, I need to get Saka like 45 minutes to be so he's ready for the game. Listen, not having a go, not moaning.
You don't think it was pre-planned before the game, Lee?
100%. 100% it was. And maybe, a fella said to me next to me, and big up to him, he turned around and said that, as I actually said, what's the matter with Wanyeri? He ain't sort of been playing. And he went, well, maybe he knew he was coming off today, and maybe he's known that in the last couple of weeks, Saka's been fit. This is always coming. But he said his time will come again, as he knows. But maybe there is something in that, I thought, I kind of understand what you're saying there,
Force 9. I'm playing Force 9 on the weekend.
I honestly think, with Wanyeri yesterday, he could have done unbelievably well yesterday. He knew he was coming off after 45 minutes. And I don't know if the managers told him that, but you could sense that it was going. I never thought that those changes were going to come at half time. Did you? I couldn't believe it. But he did.
Didn't surprise me massively, but I hear you.
Yeah. So, and that sort of, all right. Well, we're putting all our eggs into the Champions League. And listen, I'm not criticising for Arteta for doing that. Good luck to him, you know what I mean? But over my dead body, well, that is not entirely true, is it?
I think he did the right thing. Honestly,
I've got no problem with it.
Different combinations, mix up the 11, give Saka 45, even if it was planned subs. Yeah, I was okay with that. I think we saw the players we needed to see. I wanted to see how fit Ben White looked. I wanted to see how Kivior would look. I wanted to see Trossard in the false 9, Marino in midfield. Sure, I wasn't really calling for it, but yeah, I think my criticism of Arteta is the way Arsenal have played this season. And I think, cool, there have been injuries, but even when we didn't have injuries, the football was a bit of a struggle for quite a lot of it. And when we had one player out like Odegaard or one or two players out like Saka, I didn't think the solutions were good enough. And then the ones he did find, he kind of took too long, like Waneri on the right and things like that. Although actually maybe that didn't take too long. So yeah, I mean, yeah, we've had a lot to kind of be critical of when it comes to Mikel Arteta. And Saturday probably does deserve criticism some stuff, but I sort of understood the decisions he made, and yeah, it's all eyes on Madrid and how he tries to overcome them and Ancelotti.
I don't know, man. I feel like he could have loosened up a hell of a lot more. I feel like, I get you in terms of what he tried, but what he tried doesn't really fill me with much. Okay, so what? Marino's not working up top 70 minutes, so we bring on Trossard and put Marino in midfield. That's not really like at some point since Saka's been injured and then Havertz, Nwaneri's been our brightest spark and probably one of the biggest goal threats alongside Marino too. So for me, try and find a way where you get both in. Now that could have been 15 minutes in the second half with Saka and on the right and Nwaneri maybe in the 10. Then you bring on Odegaard and replace him. You maybe just that, but we didn't see it at all. So
Yeah,
as much as you're saying he did try, I'm like, okay, I get that. But what he tried is just like we know what Trossard's like in the false nine with Saka, Martinelli either side. We also know what Marino's like in midfield. We also know that Odegaard is playing poorly. So what's the solution for him? Because it's not Marino. So there's still like I feel like he could have loosened up, and it's kind of been a theme that's led us to this season and the way we started the season playing before injuries, and then when the injury started, the first big injury, Odegaard, it's like the first thing was lock up shop, and then Bournemouth red card, lock up Sterling come off, lock up shop. That's kind of been the theme, and it's got us out of a title race. It's got us knocked out of 2 cups, and we're in a state where we're playing the big boys in Europe, albeit not on form themselves. But it would have been nice to not go for the whole, okay, if Marino up top is not working, we move into midfield and Trossard goes up top. It's still very much the same theme. There's no loosening up of the shackles, because a lot of it is tactical in terms of what's happened to us over the last, we go from 60-something open play goals in 22-23 to whatever 30-something is it, or early 40, 39, 40, 41 something this season, because tactically we'll do. So it would have been nice to see that. I've been saying that, so for weeks now. So it's we're here now. The match is here. Yeah. I do get he tried something different, but yeah, I mean, a midfield of Jorginho, Rice, and Marino is not the different I really wanted to see before Real. But we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Let's talk about Real a bit anyway. I mean, we said the defense, the questions weren't answered. Might as well say who we'd go with, I guess. I'd be partnering Ben White with Saliba, or Saliba with Ben White, regardless of iffy moments. I think as much as we can all say and agree it would be a risk playing Ben White, I think we can all say and agree it'd be a risk playing Kivior, regardless of 100% fit Kivior or a 75% fit Ben White. And I think it was James who said it earlier, maybe it was on his channel, the whole physicality and mental side of things. Ben White's got that in abundance over Kivior. And even if it comes down to a straight physical versus technical shootout, I'd much rather Ben White be in there than a Kivior. So for me, yes, iffy moments. Overall, I'm kind of with James. I think he was fine overall. It didn't cost us the moment he had. So I'll do Ben White, Saliba, Timber, and Lewis Skelly as the fullbacks.
Yeah. I'd run a live on AFTV tonight at the time of recording, 7 p.m. Sunday night. And what I did was, with the live comment section, I was asking them, tell me what 11 you guys want. And they just sort of, voted by sending the name in the comments. Anyway, why am I telling you this? Right, because when we kind of came to the 11 by the end of it, which happened to be the 11 I want to see, which again is Saliba and White paired at the back and whatever. The way I looked at it was these players. So it was your back four, Odegaard, Partey, Rice in midfield, and then Martinelli, Trossard, and Saka as the front three. And the way I worded it was, this is the best 11 we can put out if every single player that's fit plays to the potential we've seen them have at Arsenal. So while Mourinho's scoring some goals now, Mourinho is not as good as Leandro Trossard in the front line when Trossard's at his best. He's fundamentally not. He's not as good as Thomas Partey and Declan Rice when they're fundamentally at their best. Ødegaard is in horrible form, but at his very best, he walks into our midfield. So my thing is, can you get that 11 out there that for this one game, hopefully, they just are like, they get it, right? That drive that saw them in the last couple run-ins, especially last season's running, we did well. You know, can it draw that out of them because of the occasion, because it's Real Madrid, because you need to focus that bit more, because the stakes are that bit higher, because there's actually a chance at silverware at the end of it. We know the Premier League's gone. You know, I would go with the players that I've seen have a track record of hitting real levels for Arsenal. And that's why Kivior, Marino, Jorginho, like a few of those others just miss out for me. Because I think the others have hit more, have hit those levels before.
Oh, so you would start Trossard, yeah?
I would. Yeah, I'd start Trossard in the false nine. I would. That doesn't mean that I think he's in better form than Marino right now, or that I think he's... I don't... Maybe we're more suited to like a 6'2" target man style up front. I don't know.
Aren't we, though? Considering
We could
the way we play?
sting the place out and Trossard could win us the game. He's that kind of player.
Probably could say the same thing as for Marino. Obviously, someone else would probably have to create the chance for it. But
That's it. It needs service. It needs like, you know, like you were praising Sterling earlier, Lee, for the, you know, and sure he did well. He did his bit, but Trossard's got a lot of work to do after.
Yeah, listen, I've got no argument. You know what I mean? I know you're going to. I think Trossard pushed himself in for it yesterday, but I do think that he'll go. I
think I'll go with Marino. I think I'll go with Marino.
I do. I just got that feeling that he's going to go with Marino.
he's going Marino. He's going Kivior as well. Yeah.
Listen, you know what? You know, you make a great point, Turkish, about there's a gamble with Ben White. As I said, I wasn't comfortable with his performance yesterday, but I agree with that as well. I think that Ben White is probably the more suited for it. So I'm going to go along with you there. Like put Ben White and Saliba as my two, and up front. But as much as I agree what. As much as I agree, I've watched a couple of Real Madrid games of late. They're a little bit weak on crosses. I think Marino might get something from that, so I'm going to go with Marino in there.
Okay, Jordan, you made an expression when Lee said Ben White, Saliba. Do you disagree? Okay.
Yeah,
great point, man. Absolutely fantastic point.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, do you agree?
It's not often he does that.
You man.
It's been a while since we dropped one of those.
See, I know what is it. I know what is it.
He couldn't believe we were agreeing.
You know what? I'm
That's
like, why are you agreeing? I give him my point yet. No, you got me. What an idiot. So what I was saying was my team is actually quite different to all of your teams, actually. So I would go with, I'd start Tierney. When I tell you my whole team, I'll tell you why. But I'd go Tierney, left back, Saliba, and then I wouldn't really mind between who starts next to Saliba out of White or Timber's fit, isn't he? Timber's fit. Yeah, Timber's fine. I wouldn't really mind who of those two plays next to Saliba or who plays right back. As I mentioned earlier on, I would go with a real block of three in front of that. So my three in front would be Rice, Partey, and Jorginho. I think the two key things in this game you need are athleticism and the ability to keep the ball. I think we have to keep the ball. Let's say Timber. Let's say Timber.
And then Rice, Jorginho, Partey, you said?
as
my three, yeah, in the middle.
Okay,
And then And then hang on, stick with me. And then
Right.
I'm going Trossard on the left. I'm starting Saka on the right, and I'm playing Ranieri as the false 9. He's my false 9. I think at this point we've got to try something different. We've got to try something
Wasn't
different.
this point
And
yesterday and the week before that, and that was the
hang
point.
on.
I get some of what you're saying.
And the reason why I'm starting Tierney is because I think if you've got a block of 3 midfielders that are quite low, that allows Tierney to almost play as a wing back. And also on the right, let's say it's Timber, you got those two to be your almost wing backs because you've got 2 centre backs, but you've got 3 as protection. So that whole area in front of the area is just congested, and you force Madrid to try and cross the ball. Because if it's a crossing game, I fancy us to win that game, right? I think we win that battle. If it becomes a game where there's too many spaces, if we go bang for bang, the tie's over. The tie's over. And I'm looking at this team and I'm picking my team through the prism of how do we get to the second leg with a chance? That's all I care about. Get to the Bernabeu, still in the tie. And that is a spoiler 11. That spoils it, but it still gives you the outlet of Tierney and his crossing ability, as well as, let's say, Timber on the right. He's not bad up and down as well. So that would be my team, personally. So I'm dropping the Flirter because that kind of pace in the second half could be valuable. And I'm also dropping Marino because his aerial presence in both boxes could be quite powerful in the second half as well. So that's my 11.
I mean, what a way to kill the Emirates atmosphere.
Yeah, but you know what kills, but James, you know what kills the atmosphere more? 3-0 at full time. That kills the atmosphere more.
I think we can have a go at them, man. I think they'll concede possession. I think at full time we'll have more of the ball than them.
But James, even if we do have the possession, I haven't got the faith that we have the players to even break them down anyway.
We're
not good.
I know.
We're not good with the ball. Yeah, so sorry.
Yeah, I hear all that, but I just think if you've got any chance of beating Madrid, we're going to need one of those performances, by the way, that you're talking about.
We haven't got to beat them.
I get what you're saying. We can celebrate draws all the way through and then go on.
Yeah,
go
on Wednesday, we haven't got to beat them.
But I just think the season's been so flat. There's been bad result after bad news after bad result after this, and we've got this opportunity to, and I get it, we could think more pragmatically and play the percentages, but I think Arteta's tenure has been him playing the percentages. I think the style of football he plays is playing the percentages. We've got this one opportunity for the Emirates to be a cauldron for probably the last time this season. Loud, intense, the fans just giving it their all, and Arsenal just absolutely having a go. Just go. We could be pragmatic, and Mbappe, we'll do something. That's what, he was 2-0 down in a World Cup final, to Argentina, and he just pulled something out with 10 minutes to go. Anything can happen with the level of quality they've got. Let's just get into them and just have a go and fucking.
If this fixture was this time
leave
last
it
year,
out there.
If this fixture was this time last year, I'd be with you, because last year we showed examples of how attacking wise we could hurt anybody. I'd have a lot of faith that we could create chances, we could play the ball, we could score goals. We ain't that team at the moment. And whilst I hear I hear you that the atmosphere in the Emirates Stadium will respond to what they're seeing on the pitch, and if on the pitch is dry and drab, that will kill the vibe. I get that. And this is coming from the guy, James, that values performance alongside results. So this is out of character for me. Normally, I'm the guy saying I want a performance, but I'm looking at this, trying to learn lessons from previous ties. Madrid know how to do this. You haven't got to play well. You haven't got to play scintillating football. You just got to get through. And I think our best way of getting through is giving ourselves a chance at the Bernabeu.
I do hear that, but do you guys not think that football is just this, we've seen it time and time again, Klopp's Liverpool, unbeaten, just walking it. I think Watford made a managerial change, can't remember. Or maybe they hadn't. Anyway, they beat them 3-0. Just slapped them. Everton, couldn't score goals earlier this season. David Moyes comes in, there's a lift, and we're 3-0 against Tottenham? Was it 3-0 at half time? Something like that. I can't remember. But goals just flying in, just like things. Sometimes things can happen that just trigger, and floodgates are open. And I just think we want energy and atmosphere in that stadium. And I think the team need to fuel the fans as much as the fans need to fuel the team. And I just think that first tackle on Bellingham, that first shot that kisses the post, something like that, and then there's noise, and then suddenly it's like, oh, hold on, we can hurt them. And I think, in Real Madrid, I think will be quite pragmatic. I think they will go, because I actually think they'll think that's the best way to hurt us. I think they'll go, it's cool, let them have the ball a little bit because we're going to kill him on the counter-attack. Just try and control some of those moments. Foul Vinicius in the first 5 minutes. Just little things, just let them know they're in for an uncomfortable night. Because, man, I want to go out swinging this season, man. This season has been shit. I mean, let's be honest. And we're second somehow. It's been absolutely shit. We've got less points than Emery in his first season after this many games. Come on. And then the injuries, everything. I want to have a go, man. I just don't want to. Because I just think there's every chance that we don't have a go and we try and be pragmatic and play the percentages and we go out anyway.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
Like we did against Bayern.
The soul in this team.
Yeah.
Like we did against Bayern, I think we went out and went.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
Yeah, so I'm with you. If you're going to go down all guns blazing. Let's go.
But Lee, the difference with the Bayern game is I don't think we were pragmatic. I think we were just poor.
Yeah.
We were just poor. I don't think we were pragmatic. I think I'm talking about being pragmatic where come 90 minutes, we're like, that wasn't a great watch, but we got a 1-1. And the tie's still very much on. But the Bayern tie, we were just poor. That wasn't pragmatism. We were just, I don't know what happened. And I hear James's point as well. We could be pragmatic. It could be boring and still lose 3-1. that could happen. So people are paying their money to be entertained. I'm with that all day long. I'm just thinking we're not playing just a very, very good team. We're playing European heritage. We're playing a team that know how to deal with cauldrons. We're playing a team that has that European pedigree of knowing the nous of how to navigate the first 15 minutes, the first half an hour. They know how to do this. So it's not just, we're not just playing a good team. We've got to be European smart. And I think to do that, we've got to find a different way. And my suggestion is a different way of staying in the tie and giving ourselves the best possible chance. But it's not said I'm right. It's just a different way of trying to achieve a different result.
The way we've been playing, I don't know how that comes about, if I'm honest with you. Or all this. I'm with you. Go out swinging. That's what I wanted to see in the last 5 games. Something different to indicate we will. Yeah, we're not. We're 100% going to play this game and see where we land. 100%. And I disagree with Jordan. I think we need to win in the first leg.
100%.
Obviously, a draw keeps. Sorry, a draw keeps the second leg, spicy. But it's a tough ask to beat Real Madrid at the Bernabeu.
No, I'm with you. We've got to get a lead,
especially our record in Europe with Arteta as well. It's been poor.
Yeah, I think you've got to go 2-0. I think if we go to Madrid with 2-0, we've got a 50-50 chance of winning it.
Wow.
I agree with that.
But if it's 1-0, I still think they'll turn that around. But a 2-0, I think we've got a realistic chance. We might get through. 3-0, yeah, even better. But I really do think that
4-0, 5-0,
4-0. Let's start learning our French. But or Brummy. But what I'm saying is, it is so much important that we get to 2-0 in this game. I don't see it. I'm not saying that I don't want everybody going, oh, we're deluded. I don't see it by any stretch of the imagination. But that's what I do think that we need.
But when I say let's have a go, it doesn't mean be completely irresponsible.
No, of course.
Fullbacks flying up the pitch, basically a front 5 at all times. It's not that. It's just it's more in the way you do things. That ball, just put more zip on it in the pass. When there is that space, because a Vinicius or an Mbappe haven't tracked back or whatever, Ben White fucking attack it, go for it. When there's a sight at goal, hit it, conviction. You see the goal, just absolutely. It's things like that. It's like when you make a tackle, believe you're going to win the ball. You see those players, they go half-hearted and then they turn and they've missed the tackle. They go, oh, I tried. No, you didn't. You didn't really try. Like everything we do in this game, it doesn't have to be. And we might do 10, 15, 20 minutes where we just sit right back. Right, we might have to sit all the way back for 20 minutes and soak it up. That's fine. But every header, that every cross comes into the box, get your head on it. Every time they go out wide, try and clamp their wingers. Don't let them get any time and space. Double up on them. Those are the things we'll see that we're like, yeah, they're having a real go. They're leaving it out there. It doesn't have to all be attack, attack, attack. I'm not expecting Courtois to make 15 saves tomorrow, but I'm expecting Real Madrid to walk off that pitch at the least feeling that was tough. At the very least, any football team can do that.
I want to be off my seat more than once in this game, like, you know what I mean, whether it be shots or whatever. I want to be, all right, you know, a little bit like the Man City game, like it was a tight thing. All of a sudden, 15 minutes of madness, something like that. Come on, we can do it. We can do it.
The two key words in this game for me are concentration and conviction. For 95 minutes, every single player has to concentrate, because even when you think you're on top, if you take your eye off the ball, these guys will get in and they'll score, and you're like, whoa, where'd that come from? Every single player, every pass, as James said, every pass has to be passed properly. Tracking runs, back posts, not giving the ball away. When you shoot properly, man. None of this, what does X call it? Pillow foot shooting. Yeah. Shoot the ball, man. When you're crossing, cross with conviction. When you're tackling, tackle, man. When you're going for headers, win the header. If not, win the second header. You know what I mean? Conviction and concentration. If those two things are 10 out of 10, the quality, we don't win that battle. But we can win the battle if we focus, we make it loud, and we play with conviction, man. And we can beat this team. Madrid are a very good team. They're better than us. They're the favourites, 100%. But I think we can get something from this game if from minute 1 to 95, we are on it. This is the season. Forget second leg. This is the season. Every player's got to leave it all out there. Saka's got to do his thing. The Flirter's got to do his thing. Trossard, everyone's got to just do that. It's got to step up. Step up, man. We can do it. I don't think we will, but we can.
Full time, Arsenal 0, Real Madrid 4. Arsenal's Champions League hopes hang by a thread. As they try to Bernabeu on Wednesday night.
Yeah, I mean, it's long. It's long for me.
Mate, I'm excited and nervous.
Come on, man. This is what we waited 5-6 years for. Not playing Ludogorets and all them. No. We've worked hard to get back here.
The man didn't wait 5 years to go into Real Madrid with Marino up top. I'll be real with you. Yeah, if I'm honest, as good as he has done the situation at present, it just.
I'm trying it. I'm trying, brother. I'm trying. Give me a break.
We're all trying. I've got to say, we're all trying here, to be fair. Even Turkish is like, I'm excited but nervous. That's trying for Turkish.
That's the most you're gonna get. That's pushing it if you want any more.
But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Imagine if we win 3-0.
Oh, come on, Jordan, man.
Why
do you want us to imagine it?
Just imagine. Imagine if we win 3-0. Wait till my predicting score. You wait. Wait.
Well, actually, City. That's the last team we beat by that margin, isn't it?
See?
Because
we played do this. By the way, we played better in Europe than we have in the league.
We've played better in Europe.
Maybe this style of football and the way we play suits our players. Teams are more come at you a little bit more than what they do in the Premier League because they feel that they're better teams, and so they're not going to sit back and defend like a lot of teams have this season. Maybe let's
out.
See what happens.
Gabriel injury fucked us.
Oh yeah, it's a big blow.
I'm only just getting pissed off about it. Like. We had for all the injury problems we had this season, we had this opportunity to actually face Real Madrid with basically our best team. Because if Trossard is in the false 9, listen, Jesus and Havertz haven't exactly held that position, have they, over the last few years? So, okay, shame we don't have them. But I don't see us as significantly weaker for having Trossard up there. Dare I say even Marino, right? That's just me personally. I don't really rate our striking options. So we could have had our best midfield, our best back four, Saka back with, over an hour of football under his belt, Ben White with an hour of football under his belt, Marte looking sharp. We could have actually had we still can, because Ben White might play. He's a very good footballer. But fucking to not have Gabriel, one of the best centre-backs in the world. What a battle. You know, he'd have been relishing it as well. I wanted to see how he stacked up against an Mbappe. Yeah, that would have been an amazing battle to witness. He might have got cooked. A lot of players do by Mbappe, but maybe he didn't. Like,
This is
man.
This is gonna top the Barca game as our greatest European game at the Emirates. I'm telling you, this is gonna top that Barca game.
Our Shavin moment, you think?
Yeah, the Wilshire one.
Yeah, Wilshire.
I'm telling you, man. This is gonna be our best ever game in Europe in the Emirates era.
Do you know that game's a really good example? If you look at that day, I think was it Giroud and Koscielny we had at centre back that day. Their task was to stop Pedro, Messi, David Villa. And sometimes, I don't know what it is, sometimes the occasion can just lift a player. I don't know what it is. You're just like, I really need to fucking try. It's Real Madrid. Like, you have that in day to day. Sometimes you have a harder task at work. You're like, oh, I better focus for this one. So if they could just all focus, that'd be great.
We're gonna do this.
You lot done? Cool. I better see this reflected in the predictions. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I better see this reflected in the predictions.
No, that's different. I have a competition to win there. Okay, none of this bullshit.
Oh, okay.
That's the real thing. No,
That's
this
when
is just for the listeners.
It goes out of the window. Here's the update. Both James and Jordan got 3 points on the board. 1-1 prediction.
Oh, did you go 1-1, James?
I did.
Oh! I've been gassed all weekend.
So you don't watch the show back now?
Yeah, you never watched the pod.
I watched the first half and you bored me. Oh! I've been so gassed. Oh, James, you're a scumbag.
I'm sorry, man.
To be fair to me, didn't know you predicted.
Man, I'm done.
Actually,
It's done. Title's
No,
done.
I actually didn't. I think he said after. Did you?
no, it was in there. It was in there before the show, but just.
Oh, in the group.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway,
I don't know.
for audio listeners, 47 games have been played, 47 predictions made. James has got 12 correct scores, 53 points. Crazy numbers. Jordan's got 8 correct scores, 45 points. In any other season, he'd be top right now. I'm third on goal difference, 35 points. Lee's also got 35 points, but I've got 4 correct scores. Lee's got 3 correct scores. So that's how it stands. So James, Real Madrid, Emirates, the big one.
2-1 Arsenal.
2-1 Arsenal. Jordan,
fucking idiot.
Real Madrid, Emirates, the big one.
The big one. I'm going 2-2.
Lee.
That's you.
Oh, it's me.
Hmm?
You see how you used to? Sorry, I didn't. Yeah, you probably think I'm having a dig. Wait, 2-1, 2-2.
What do you actually think is going to happen on Tuesday night, Turkish?
Real are going to beat us.
Fine. That is
2-1.
probably what's going to happen.
2-1 Real. Lee.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal.
Go on, Lee.
It's going to be a mad game. I think it's going to be a mad game.
Don't fucking learn anything, do we?
Oh, I got nothing to lose. Who gives a shit?
Oh no! This is the only thing I have left
Everton,
to
but
hope
we're
for.
score 3 past Madrid.
All right, here we
I
go.
hope you're all right, man. Like I said, I've got tickets to that away game, and we need to be in this game. We need to be in this game.
Imagine being in Madrid if we got it done, man. That would be a big moment for this team,
Be
this
nice.
manager. Actually,
It'll be nice. It will be nice.
So pissed. I'm pissed off now, man.
Sorry,
What,
Jordan, man.
you didn't close the gap.
You have no idea. Yeah, I was gassed. I was so gassed.
What did you have, Turkish?
What? I was 2-1 win against Everton.
You had 2-1. What? No. Okay,
I thought
forever.
you had 2-2.
2-1 I had for Everton.
Same as me. Well, I went 2-1. So we went 2-1 and they went 1-1.
Oh wait, you went 2-1.
I think you went 2-2 Turkish.
Shit, I might have. We might need a VAR. I might be a point above Lee. I'm gonna check that, people. So make sure you know that. I'm gonna check that.
Well, now we likes VAR. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
alright,
think you
don't
did. I
worry.
think you all three of you went for a draw, and I went for the Arsenal win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I remember it. But...
That sounds about right. So yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
point above people.
Point above, like, yeah.
Cool.
That's the kind of nice guy I am. Like, you know what I mean?
You are, man.
As he says, it's locked in. It should be locked in, but I'll let it go. I'll let it slide.
No. The predictions locked in. This is other things, other rules.
The table can be amended at any point.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
I'll
it can
fucking
be
do
amended
that.
at any point in Turkey's favour. That's what it should actually say. Like, you know what I mean?
No, I've amended many a table before.
No.
And
I think you did go 2-2. I'm pretty sure you did.
to be honest, you was actually 20 seconds late today as well. But I didn't want to mention that, but it is all right.
It wasn't 20
Don't
seconds
mind.
late. It was dead on time.
No, it was 20 seconds late. I was actually counting.
Yeah.
I wanted to let you know exactly what it
You
was.
can't count properly then. That's all I'm saying.
Cool. Predictions are done. The table has been updated. It was that.
And we'll see where we are on Wednesday.
Now it's that. And we will see on Wednesday. Comments of the day. Have we got them?
Yeah. A couple.
Oh, I haven't.
Quite funny.
He hasn't. That's all right, Lee. No problem.
That's okay. Thank you very much.
Leon Brito said that I was in my Tony Pulis get up.
Yeah, I like that.
On the pod. And has anyone else got Baba Reyes' comment?
No.
But really enjoyed Jordan's opinions on this pod. Put that note.
Yeah,
I see that one.
Lots of comments were saying that. Lots of comments really said they missed my appearance on the pod. So thank you very much to all the
There
people.
weren't that many.
There was a lot. There was a
Many
lot.
names.
Tolu, Shelley, Jenny 2.4. There's a few.
Man said Jenny 2.4.
K11. There's a few. Ashton,
Glad to hear it.
Mark.
Oh
Made them all
my
up.
God.
Go on, Lee. I haven't got one of you.
I apologise. I did look at them and I didn't save one. So I did see that one about Jordan. That's the best appearance he's made or something. I did see that one.
Yeah,
original.
original.
Harsh, but fair.
Very original. Yeah. Go on, you go Turkish. I'm trying to find one.
That was just a calm one. I mean, Jack Ritchie said, Dunfermline fan here. Could be my favorite show on YouTube. Keep up the great work. Thanks.
Wow.
Yeah, thank you.
I like that.
No, appreciate that. I've got to say that there were a lot of comments not happy with the negativity of the pod.
Who gives a shit?
I think, no, genuinely trying to reflect on those comments, right? I'm like, you're all entitled to your opinion, but I don't really know what people expected. I mean, look, I'm biased. I'm on the pod, right, with you guys here. And, you know, sometimes hard to admit you're wrong, but I just think Gabriel went off injured. Arsenal didn't play very well. Like, you know, what? Just because we won, everything's great. Like, Arsenal didn't win against Everton, and I've been pretty positive about that performance. So I like to think I'm quite consistent in what I'm looking for. You know, I don't, you know, like I said, we lost our best player for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Am I meant to be overjoyed? But that was the bigger picture. And, you know, like I said, I learned a big lesson at the beginning of the season. I felt there was a lot of negativity around our transfer window, and it was all a bit premature. It's all been proven right. Sometimes it's just what you see in front of you is what it is. And Arsenal didn't play very well. And then when they came up against Everton and they needed to get a goal, they struggled to, because, of course, that's been the story of our season. You know, injuries have been disappointing. We're disappointed about it. You know, I appreciate the comments, guys. And if the pod's not for everyone, that's fine. But surely you can understand. You know, people going off, someone put, it's not forever Arsenal, it's now forever complaining. But what would you like us to have talked about? Like, I mean, what would you have liked us to have said differently? That kind of comment I'd respect a lot more. Just say, look, to be fair, I actually thought this was good. I thought that was good. You could have praised this more. that fine. But I don't really know what people are that surprised, but I don't really know where these positive angles are meant to be. And I'm the hopeful one. I'm the super happy, everything's great one. But anyway, there we go. Fair enough.
I think because of Gabriel got injured, it knocked me big time.
It knocked all of
Gabriel
us.
got injured on top of us being out of every competition, and essentially one roll of the dice left against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the reason I said who gives a shit is because the people that are, sending those sort of shots about Fourever moaning and that, like James said, and he said it much more articulately than I can. That's for sure. But what the fuck do you want us to talk about when, our best player probably of the season in Gabriel, not just best defender, got injured in the same game Saka came back? It just feels like luck's against us. We know what it is already. We all had hopes that our defense wins the game against Real, and then it is what it is. It is what it is. No one was complaining last year, this time last year, when everyone was happy rolling and everything was, it looked like we was gonna win potentially the league. No one was coming in the comments saying, well, far too positive. It's a positivity echo chamber. No, I didn't see that. So just shut the hell up. If you don't like it, then it's cool. Go find
listen, everybody's got their opinions. I respect them all and that lot. But don't forget, that was on top of Timber being injured as well. That was a big blow. It's a big blow last week. Timber coming back's a boost.
Ben White wasn't in the squad.
Ben White wasn't in the squad at that time. Yeah. Ben White come back. So there was like going into that pod, we had 3 of our better defenders that probably would all be starting if they were fit. Potentially being out. We've got 2 back now. So that was a big blow. Come on, like, give us a little bit of leeway there.
Someone's put a Jordan so negative. I wasn't even on the pod. I wasn't even
talking about this one. They've got
it early. I'm catching bullets. I wasn't even on the pod. To be fair, if I was on it, I would have been negative, but at least let me be on the pod negative before you call me out. Can I just give a shout out and a plug? The shout out, first of all, I promise I remember his name, Olu. It was his birthday last week. Big Arsenal fan, big fan of the podcast. Big up Olu. I said I promise you I remember your name, and I did. And a plug to my new podcast. If you give me 30 seconds. I told you guys, as in you guys, our community, about my disability about 6 months ago. I launched a podcast called Jordan Jarrett Bryan's The Coolest Disabled in the World, where 3 or 4 eps in, there is no or minimal content for people with disabilities globally. So I set up a podcast where we have conversations with people who've done really, really, really amazing things, who just happen to have a disability, neurodivergent, amputees, cerebral palsy, muscular dystrophy, blind, all people of all types have done some amazing things. Go check it out. It's under the handle of Coolest Disabled. That's Coolest Disabled on YouTube and all your podcast platforms. If everyone here who loves me and hates me, that'll be a lot of people, can go and give it a subscribe, a like, a share. I would love you all forever. And the 3 of you gentlemen, if you don't listen to one episode, even a subscription means more than you know. So Coolest Disabled on all your podcast platforms and on YouTube. Go check it out. Enjoy, support, comment, share, all that stuff.
Into that, Jordan. What's it called?
Coolest Disabled.
World's Coolest Disabled. Jordan Jarrett Bryan's The World's Coolest Disabled.
No, nice. Congrats on the new pod, man.
We're just trying something. It's going to be a slow burn. It's not a space in the digital world.
That's brilliant. I love content like that. Well done.
But it's going to grow. Thank you very much.
I'll make a quick shout out to very quickly because someone called Elle got in touch because the Fourever Arsenal predicted didn't work for the Fulham game. I believe it's back up and running. So apologies to everyone who is on the AFTV app getting their predictions in. Yeah, it didn't run for Fulham, but I don't believe it ran for anyone. So that was just one that was missed. But yeah, if you got in touch, big fan of the podcast, and it's all running now. So thank you, Elle, for that, because it's all working.
Well done.
Lee, any shout outs?
Yeah, Lee Judges TV. Give it a like and subscribe.
There we go. Yeah, I ain't got nothing to shout out, people. I'm just here. Fourever Arsenal. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. We'll be back after Real Madrid Wednesday morning. Come on. Yeah, something like that.